Welcome, everyone. This is the Tampa Business and Real Estate Professionals Network, and we are here today to talk with Mark Jackson. Mark is the owner of Motto Mortgage. He is a investor in the local Tampa area, and also has the mortgage company Motto Mortgage. So, Mark, tell us a little bit more about your business.
So thank you so much for having me, first of all, Gary. Want to point out I'm a co-owner with my business partner, Damien. And we have the Motto Mortgage Royal franchise within the Motto Mortgage Network. I'm a licensed clinical social worker by profession. I got involved in the mortgage and real estate world because I was invited by my business partner, did a lot of research. And I figured, hey, you know what? Um, Finances are a huge part of the whole stress that later leads to mental health issues, so it makes sense.
Hmm.
So here I am.
Wow, that's interesting. So, what led you into thinking about actually the mortgage part of the business? I can understand, wanting to get into real estate, but what directed you towards the mortgage side of it?
So the mortgage side, to me, that's kind of like a societal issue, right? Someone goes into a bank, hey, let me try to own my own home, and they say, hey, you know what, your numbers don't look good,
Mm-hmm.
you're this, you're that, and that person gets discouraged, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your credit score isn't where it should be. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, they said my credit score wasn't good enough 5 years ago. That person just gave up. So to me, a lot of times that's not really necessary. If you
Mm-hmm.
take that time to talk to that person, who else is at home? What else can we do? Can we pay down a bill? And essentially introduce a human element to the mortgage game, so to speak, and we could have significantly different outcomes. And again, my whole background with the mental health piece, because you figure, I have a mortgage versus I have rent, I'm not building any equity, right? So the chances of me staying a wage slave significantly increases because I have no equity play, like my options are severely limited.
Mm-hmm.
So if we could walk into the mortgage franchise and say, hey, this is where I'm at, this is my starting position. And then we can say, hey, let's look at your situation. Let's see what kind of support you have, social supports. Let's get this deal done. It's essentially the back end of it. We want to make sure you get taken care of and that your circumstances are better.
Hmm. That's really interesting how you tie that back into your profession as a social worker. That's great. What do you enjoy most about the profession working in mortgages?
It's very different. I'll say that. One of the best parts of it for me is that, as I'm sure the getting a house is one of the biggest decisions that people generally make. It's typically one of the biggest bills as well. So there's that excitement that comes from, I like to call it, when you get a win, right? This person has
Mhm.
completed the deal, they have their home, or they did the reverse mortgage, or they did the equity pool. Now they can go invest in this other business or whatever. That excitement, that joy, right? For me, for everybody, I guess, you only live once. So I like to celebrate the victories. I love that because that's like
Mhm.
normally one of the biggest victories that you get. I now have either my own home or I did an equity pool and I have this money that would have cost me an arm and a leg if I did a loan to get it, right?
Mhm.
So that joy that comes from completing that mission when we get that win, that's one of the best things I like about it.
Nice, nice. So what would you say separates you and your company from the competition?
Well, one of the first things is someone contacts us for hey, we want to look at doing some business. We don't say let's pull your credit, right?
Hmm.
We want to see what the lay of the land is. Does this make sense for you right now? And that's how we actually operate. If
Well,
you're in a situation where it doesn't make sense right now, we're going to tell you that. Let's
hmm.
do this, let's do that, let's work on some things, and then we can get back to it. Now, obviously, if everything is in place and you're ready to go, then you're ready to go. We can make it happen. As a broker, we're able to shop the loan. And if this is your circumstance and lender number one doesn't fit your circumstance or your needs, then we'll check with lender two, three, four, five, six, right?
Hmm.
At the
Right.
end of the day, we're trying to get this deal done. So we're not limited to say, oh, well, this person doesn't accept this person needs that. So as a result, we can't do this for you. Our position is, what do we need to do to get this done?
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Nice. So, what advice would you give to someone just starting out in the mortgage business?
I would say, believe it or not, treat people the way you would want to be treated,
Mm,
right? I feel like in my research, that was something that really just kind of surprised me. It was just like, wow, like why would people do this or why would people operate in this way? So if you can treat people the way you want to be treated, I think we'd have a much nicer, so to speak, work environment in general. People
mm,
wouldn't be as kind of leery of the process, like, oh,
mm.
I'd like to do it, but there's going to be so many questions, there's going to be so many this, there's going to be so many that turns me off. Like it doesn't need to be a negative experience.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I agree. And that's great advice for any entrepreneur in any business, to be honest with you. Just treat
Yeah,
people
yeah.
nice, you
But
know?
when you think of the fact that this is such a big deal for most people,
Hmm.
it adds the importance of, hey, I want to feel comfortable doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Exactly. So, what one thing would you do with your business if you knew it could not fail?
What one thing would I do with the business if I knew it couldn't fail? I guess we'd probably just, expand.
Expand. Okay.
Yeah,
Scale up.
yeah, scale up, which we plan to do anyway.
Yeah.
But if you're saying there's a guarantee, generally I like to think in life there's no guarantees, but if you're giving me one, I'll take
There you
it.
go. So, how long have you been doing this now?
So we opened in December, believe it or not, around December
Okay.
28th. So when everybody else was partying and getting ready for the new year, we were starting a new business.
Nice.
But we like to believe when the opportunity presents itself, you take it, right? You don't wait around, you
Hmm.
you get right into it.
Mm.
So yeah, essentially going on to a year now. And it's been pretty cool.
Good. Good. All right. Cool. So, what do you see as coming trends in the mortgage business?
So we're definitely expecting a lot of refis, right?
Mm,
Refis, equity pools, all of that good stuff, especially after the election. People are gonna feel comfortable, I think, once they figure out which direction the wind is blowing. So I
hmm.
don't think it really matters so much where the wind blows. I just think it matters that once we've figured out which direction it's gonna go, a lot of people are gonna feel comfortable, rates are gonna come down, a lot of business is gonna get done. So
Mm,
what I would advise is if someone's sitting on the fence, jump in, get in touch. We can hook you up right now. And then you could do what we consider a 2-for-1, right? If you get something now or you do something now, rates get better. 6 months, 8 months, you could do something again. And
hmm.
I can always explain what all of that means if someone reaches out and they're interested to find out what I'm talking about.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, it's a good time if you're going to initiate the burst strategy, right? Because then
Hmm.
yeah, because rates will probably just be dropping after the election. So, yeah.
Right.
Describe the strangest or funniest incident you've experienced in your business.
Funniest incident kind of was, I had a guy who wanted to buy a franchise. He was a manager for a
Hmm.
franchise, wanted to buy the franchise. And he was saying, hey, I don't think I have the equity necessary, the funds necessary to do this. So we talked about doing a equity pool for him personally. That wasn't going to get him over the line. So I said, hey, who's in your social circle? Who's in your network? Who has your back, so to speak? So long story short, we ended up talking to his parents. So the conversation essentially came down to this. Do you believe, this is to the parents, do you believe your son's going to take care of you when you need to be taken care of? They said yes. I said, all right, cool. So he needs some care right now. He needs some love. Can you do that for him? And that was it. That was the deal right there. So they used their equity to help him get his own franchise. Now, obviously,
Nice.
he's making significantly more money, which then leads back to him being in a better position financially to take care of them as they, age as we all do.
Sounds like you're using some of that social worker psychology to get that going
It's
there,
all connected, man. It's all
huh?
connected.
Nice, nice. Well, let me ask you this. What one sentence would you like for people to use in describing the way you do business?
We treat people as individuals.
Hmm, nice. All right, I like that. Sounds like you had that motto just
No, actually, I just came up with it when you asked me the question. But that's
That's
the way we
good.
think.
That's good.
That's just the way we operate.
Well, if I am talking to someone, Mark, how would I know that that person is a perfect referral for you?
If the person's interested in doing any kind of, mortgage, new mortgage, refi, equity pool, or reverse, they
Mhm.
would be a perfect candidate for us simply
Okay.
because we can shop their deal. And like I said before, our goal is to make sure that they win in the end. So we're not going to put you in a one size fits all. We're trying to look for what's the best deal for you. We do land only deals. We can actually work with people from overseas who want to
Mm.
do purchases here and all of that. So
Okay.
there's just a lot of fun stuff. I think the biggest issue most of the time is just people don't have the information.
Sure. Sure. So you do more than just work with people who are buying a house to live in it. You do work with investors.
Oh yeah, we can do
Okay.
investors, we can do land deals, all of that stuff.
Do you do DSCR loans?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. That sounds great. Well, Mark, if someone wants to get in touch with you, what is the best way for them to get hold of you?
So they can definitely email me at mark.jackson@motomortgage.com. Sorry, at gmail.com.
Okay.
Or 813-906. And this is my direct mobile, by the way, 1997. Again, that's 813-906-1997.
Okay. So it's mark.jackson@gmail.com.
No,
Correct.
mark.jackson at Motto
Oh,
Mortgage.
at motomortgage.com.
Motto
Okay. I
Mortgage,
just
yeah.
wanted to clarify that. I think there's,
Yes.
okay. Mark.jackson@motomortgage.com or the phone
Yep.
number. All
Yep.
right. Excellent. Well, I want to thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to come and share about your business with us. It's
Oh,
been a
anytime,
pleasure meeting
Gary.
you. Yeah. Oh, another place that if you're watching this that you might meet Mark is if you come every second Tuesday of the month to our meetup in Dave and Buster's in Tampa, and that is at 6 p.m. Usually runs from 6 to 9 p.m. Mark is going to be there, so you can come up and meet with him, shake his hand, get his business card, and we meet there. And that is the Dave and Buster's Arcade, that which has meeting rooms in the back. Don't go to the Dave and Buster's bar, but it's downtown. So it's the arcade.
Right.
It's out near Top Golf, close to Brandon. So Mark, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and it's been good to meet you and good to get to know more about your business.
Thank you for having me, Gary.
All right, excellent. And